That moment when you find out your grandma watches your YouTube videos? Watching your empire fall! What's happening, YouTube? Yeah, I know. My grandma, grandmother, whatever we want to call it, watches my YouTube videos. I recently found this out from my cousin, and I'm super psyched that she does. So I want to give a really quick shout out to my Grammy. Thank you so much, Grammy, for watching my videos. That really means the world to me, and I'm so stoked that you're actually into these. Not really what I expected, but you know what? It makes me really happy to see that I have some family that's checking me out. Also, thank you so much to my aunt and my cousin for also watching these videos. Found out that they're watching them with my grandma, so you know, I've got this like whole family support thing going on, and that's super cool. So thank you so much, Grammy. Thank you so much, Aunt Tiss, and thank you so much, Lulu, for watching my videos. This literally means the world to me, and it's so awesome to hear. But let's get on to what this video is about. It's time for another Q&A. From Say Hi to Matthew. What do you do if you can't sleep at night? Do you count sheep, toss and turn, try to get it up and do something productive? Honestly, usually what I do, I usually bring my computer to bed with me and I'll watch Netflix. Not a TV show that I'm currently trying to watch or something that I'm trying to keep up to date on, but something like American Dad or Family Guy, something that I've already seen every episode for, so that way I'm not worried about staying up and trying to not miss any part of the show. You know, just something to fall asleep to. At a certain point, if I don't just fall asleep to that, sometimes I realize that I'm really tired, but the show is keeping me up. At that point, I never really turn off the show. I just end up rolling over and looking the other way. I do have those moments where the blankets make it either too cold or too hot, so I end up being in that weird middle point. But I'm usually able to find some sort of medium or just deal with it and fall asleep anyway in misery. JK though, I always sleep the way I want to sleep. From Midnight Andy, when did you learn to play the guitar? And why did you decide to play? I don't exactly remember how long ago I started playing the guitar. It's been at least 10 years, but honestly, the reason I first started wanting to play was because of the edge. The Edge is from the band U2, he's the guitarist. Ever since I was little, my mom would show me this live DVD she had from U2, and every time, I don't know why, I wouldn't focus on Bono or any of the people that, you know, you'd think you'd be focusing on when you're little. I'd always just be fascinated with the Edge and his playing. So naturally I wanted to start playing guitar. But I give my credit to my mom for always supporting me and always encouraging me to be able to play the guitar. From Lil Rose 1253 _ Lilypad. What a name, right? What's a question you would ask your future self? You got that bitch pregnant yet? I'm sorry, I just can't think of anything else I would want to ask. From Livy Vendetta. Am I your main bae? And will you promise to stay in my life forever? Obviously. Guys, Livy Vendetta is one of my best friends, and I've definitely talked about her in my videos before. But if you guys have never seen any of her videos, please check out this one. She specifically talks about me along with all the other people who have made a huge impact on her life, and it's really sweet. When I first watched it, I genuinely teared up. Like, it was awesome, and I love you so much, Livy. You are without a doubt my best friend, and no, I never, ever, ever plan on ever leaving your life. I love you, though. From Barbera _ 1698. How are you? That's a weird question to answer, but I'm doing really good actually. I don't know why. It's fall break right now. I got this new Bless the Fall shirt in the mail. I've never ordered Bless the Fall merchandise or any merchandise from any band online. I've always gotten it from the shows. I don't know. I just figured I've seen them 3 times and I still don't have that much merch, so I figured I need to go all out and get a bunch more. Is that not the shit? From Crown the Empire. What made you want to start broadcasting? There's actually a bit of a story to that. I started doing live YouNow broadcasts on January 19th, 2015. The week before that, for those of you guys who don't know, I got in a pretty bad car accident. While I'm not going to go into all the details and tell the whole story of how it all went down, I realized that I was pretty close to dying that day. Luckily, I came out unscratched except for a piece of glass in one of my fingers, but the police officer said he's pretty surprised that I didn't die in the crash. This made me realize that there's nothing really stopping me from dying any day. As much as it sucks to admit, I'm only 19, I've had a lot of really close calls, and there's nothing to say that I won't be dead by tonight or tomorrow or a year from now or 60 years from now. Well, if I live 100 years, then hell yeah, I'm super stoked for that. But you know, I should definitely consider myself lucky. And although I feel like I've had some really great moments and I've made some awesome impacts on people, I don't know what it is, what gives me this drive, but I want it to be able to affect more. So I saw on Diego's Instagram a post about you now. I'd seen these posts before, but I never really looked into it. Finally though, I decided to just go check it out. I watched some people's broadcasts and I kind of got the idea of what was going on in them, and maybe I was too straightforward, maybe I got a bit too cocky, but I just went for it and I did my first broadcast that same night. First broadcast I ever did was under hashtag guys. I got 500 new followers and I had a consistent 50 people watching me the entire time. Needless to say, that was pretty cool. I was real, I was honest with people, I told them genuinely what I think, I was straight up, and I don't know, I guess they really liked that, but I got some really awesome feedback from people. And by feedback, I just mean, you know, it was obvious that whatever I was doing was genuinely interesting. So I don't know, that made me realize that maybe I was doing something right there. Maybe I was finding a way to affect people. Maybe I was somewhat impacting someone's life, even if it was just in an entertaining way or in a somewhat helpful advice-giving way. I didn't really care. I found something. Since then, I've had ups and downs. As of October 1st, I've been Editor's Choice, so I'm going to be Editor's Choice on YouNow under hashtag alternative for the rest of the month. That's really awesome. I never thought I would get there. But it really makes me appreciate those times when I only had 7 or 5 people watching me at one time. I've gone all the way up. At one point, I remember I had 800 people watching me. And at one point, I only had 2 people watching me. I really like this number of having 50 to 80 people on average watching me. It's a number that's small enough so that I can really talk to all of you guys individually, but it's not so big that I get overwhelmed and I'm like, whoa, I can't keep up with all these comments. And yeah, it just feels good to do something that relates to you guys and can affect you guys. So that's why I keep up, and that's why I started broadcasting. That's why I'm going to continue to broadcast daily. Sorry, that was a bit of a spiel. From Dora Loves BBB. Other than Bless the Fall, what other bands do you like to listen to? It's so hard to ask me what my favorite bands are, but I guess here's some of my favorites right now. Number 1, Bless the Fall. Number 2, Feed Her to the Sharks. Number 3, Secrets. Girl, please come back from the place that you hide. Number 4, Issues. Catch me running around that town if you can. And number 5, Palisades. We are the outcasts. I have way more bands that I really enjoy, but that's just a few of them. That's just the ones that I can name right off the top of my head, and those are just the ones that I decided to list off for this video. From L as a Dinosaur. Can you, be my Pokemon? You'd be the cutest one ever. Totally! From Erica OCTW, what place in the world would you like to visit? I have been to a bunch of places in the world, and I'm so thankful to be able to have been to as many places as I've been to. One place I haven't been yet that I'd really love to go to is Australia. Note the cheesy Australian accent. Some of my favorite bands have come out of Australia. Never See Tomorrow, The Amity Affliction, Feed Her to the Sharks, Capture the Crown, etc. And Australia's always been an interest of mine. I love echidnas, I love kangaroos, I love platypi. I hope that's how you say it, because I'm not saying the other way I think it's said. Dingoes, Aborigines. I know Aborigines aren't animals, but come on, let's be honest. It would be really cool to see one. I mean super tribal Aborigines, not modern, hey, I'm just gonna wear all these jackets and stuff and be super cool Native American Monte Casino kind of Aborigine. That's probably really racist. God, I'm an awful human being. But anyway, that's where I would really want to be. From Kaylee Crocker, what band got you into the music you listen to now? Do we really have to ask that? Before I listened to this song, I hated the screamo, post-hardcore kind of sound. I was really into death metal, deathcore like Oceano, Abacab, and I was convinced that screamo was just really whiny. Then I heard the song Guys Like You Make Us Look Bad by Bless the Fall. Ever since then, I've been a huge fan of this kind of music. That's why Bless the Fall is my favorite band. They got me into post-hardcore. They turned my life around in terms of my musical interests. And for that, can I ever completely show my gratitude to them? The least I can do is keep them as my favorite band forever. So that gives me 10 questions, guys. I really liked this Q&A. I had some awesome questions and it was really awesome to answer all of them. I know this video is a bit longer than some of my other ones, but I really appreciate you guys checking it out. If you guys want to be part of my next Q&A and ask your questions, be sure to fan me on YouNow. Stay up to date and be sure to watch for my next post when I ask you guys what your questions are for my new Q&A, because that's the only place where I'm really going to be accepting those kind of questions. Thanks guys so much. It's so awesome to have another Q&A going on, and I can't wait for my next one. With nothing else to say, my name is Brendan Bagwell, and be sure to keep it adorable. Girl, please come back.